Hello and welcome to another Ghost Detective programme, and I've been invited into the home of a very lovely lady and a very interesting lady, I think, for you. This is Amy White. Hiya, Amy.
Hello, Adrian.
Now, Amy, what is your title?
I'm a practice nurse.
Practice nurse,
Yeah.
okay. And could you tell me a little bit about your history? How did you get into like ghosts and spirits, your sensitivity?
It all started when I was younger, probably about 5, 6. I've always felt spirits around me, and then when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I was laying in bed one day. Similar story to yourself, what I've heard you talk about. I was laying in bed one day, and then at the corner of my eye, in my bedroom with the door shut, I saw a figure, and it was a man dressed in what to me at the time looked like my dad in a police uniform, but he had white hair. Looked like a policeman. But I knew it wasn't my dad.
Yeah.
So I remember rolling over in bed, covers over my head, tried to scream, and then when I looked again, he'd gone. But then when I popped my head back out, he was sitting on the end of my bed, smiling at me. And all of a sudden I felt really relaxed.
Oh, right.
And I just looked at him, and he just smiled.
Yeah.
And then I remember laying back down again, turning back over, and went back to sleep. And then when I woke up again and looked, he'd gone. And the next day I saw my mum and said, there was a man in my room last night. And she said, yeah, it's probably Daddy. And I said, no, it wasn't. He looked like Daddy, but it wasn't him. He was older and he had white hair.
Mm.
And her face just dropped. And she said to me, was this him? And she showed me a photo that I'd never seen before, and it was my granddad, and he died. I don't remember him alive. He died when I was tiny. And I said, yeah, that's him. That is him. And apparently he was a security guard. And so the uniform was very similar, obviously, to the police.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I saw him regularly. He used to do silly things. He used to turn my telly off, put my hi-fi on. He used to move things about. We used to smell smoke, cigarette smoke, and nobody else in the house smoked apart from him. And we used to say, Ron, put that fag out. And then all of a sudden the smoke will go, the smell will go. My mum used to sense it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then
it's like a comforting thing,
absolutely,
isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. And then after that, every house I've lived in, there's always been something. Yeah. And then, because when my dad passed, we sensed him as well.
Yeah. You've had I mean, with your job, you've had quite a few different things happening, haven't you?
Very much so. Yeah,
Tell
very
us a few
much
about
so.
those.
The big one at Northampton General Hospital, where I was 18 at the time, and I just finished a late shift, and at the time I was living at Northampton General as well. I was living in the nurses' quarters, and I didn't want to walk. It was dark, it was winter's evening. I didn't want to walk round the hospital to get to the nurses' home.
It's quite large, isn't it?
Yeah. So I thought I'd walk down Hospital Street, walk through the internal part of the hospital, and there's a shortcut to get to the nurses' home. So I was walking down there, I had my coat over my arm, my bag on my back, and walked down Hospital Street, just as you get to the old part of the hospital, and I was about to turn right, and this woman come running around the corner, dressed in blue jeans, white t-shirt, blonde hair, nothing out of the ordinary to look at, screaming at me, my baby, I've lost my baby. So I thought, oh, okay. So I said, right, stop there, we'll see if we can find your baby. Were they brought in today? Did they come into A&E? Where have you misplaced them? And she wasn't really making any sense. So in the end I said, right, come with me, we'll go to main reception, we'll see if we can find him anywhere. It took a split second. I was at the point of Hospital Street where there is no doors either side of me. It was just corridor. There's windows where you can see below you, but there is no doors. In a split second I went to move my coat back on my arm, looked up, and she'd gone. she hadn't run in front of me, and when I turned round, she hadn't run behind me either. I didn't hear anything, didn't feel anything, and it was literally a put my coat on my arm, look up, and she'd vanished. Then, so I thought, okay, fine. I went up to the main reception. She was nowhere to be seen, so I went home. Didn't think anything more of it. The next night, I was on a late shift again. So again, I walked through Hospital Street to go home. As I got to the same spot again, there was 2 security guards standing there doing their job. And this woman come running around the corner, blue jeans, white t-shirt, help me, my baby, I've lost my baby. And I thought, oh, hold on a minute. This is a bit freaky. And then they stopped her and were talking to us. I thought, okay, I'm just going to keep out of this one.
Yeah.
Went home.
Yeah.
The next night, I saw the same security men and said, oh, hold on a minute, just out of interest, that lady you saw last night, was there an outcome? What happened? And they went, do you know what? The strangest thing happened. We just turned to talk to each other, to talk about it, looked back, and she went. We don't know where she went, she ran off, don't know what happened, she disappeared. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, funny thing, same thing happened to me.
That's really strange, isn't it? Because you're engaging.
Yeah.
With the
yeah, it was like
spirit,
it's like you seen here now. It was just a person.
Yeah, it's really strange because we've had a few occasions where I've spoken to people before about ghosts that come up to them and had a conversation with them, and people have sat in cars next to them as well. But it does happen. It happens to thousands of people, doesn't it? And you're proof that it happens.
Absolutely.
And it reoccurs. Must be on quite a regular basis.
Yeah, it's almost like just on a time loop. Like it was just that caught in that snippet of time and just going over the same thing day to day.
Yeah. How
every
weird
day.
It is with that contact.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, you try to explain to somebody who doesn't believe in ghosts and spirits that something like that will happen, and they will try every way to explain it away.
Absolutely, and I think something like that, if you go looking for it, go on a ghost hunt looking for a spirit, looking for a ghost, you're not going to catch it, you're not going to get it.
Yeah,
you're going to be sitting all day looking for it and you're not going to get it.
Yeah, it's true.
They're the type of experiences that just happen.
You're not consciously looking for it, you're just going about your everyday business and away you go, you're suddenly into it. Yeah. You've had other cases as well, different places you've worked.
Worthing Hospital. I worked there, I was living in Worthing for about 10 years and I worked on various wards of Worthing Hospital before I was qualified as a care assistant. And that one was trauma and orthopaedics. And there was it was a night shift and I was at the nurses station and there was like a long corridor on the ward. And there was a bay of patients right at the end. It was bay 7, bay of patients right at the end. And this was an orthopaedic ward. And the bay at the end were all elderly patients with fractured hips. None of them could walk. They were all pre-op. They were all in beds with cot sides up. They were all due for surgery the next day. Middle of the night, there was 4 of us on duty. Middle of the night, one of the bells was going off. So I thought, okay, so that's normal. Went up there, they were all asleep. None of the bells were ringing. I thought, okay, strange. Went back to the nurse station. About 4 times that happened. In the end, we're like, you go. No, you go. I ain't going. You go. Go up there again. No bells were ringing. And then all of a sudden, we were sitting there. We could hear a Zimmer frame going across the floor and footsteps.
Yeah.
And we're like, nobody can walk up there. They've all broken their hips. So gingerly we all kind of like peered up to the end. And the Zimmer frame was definitely coming from that bay.
Yeah.
So all 4 of us started walking up there together, gingerly.
Yeah.
And as we were heading up there, the sound then started getting quieter and quieter, and then it stopped just before we got to the bay. And when we got up there was a Zimmer frame right in the middle of the room on its own, and all the patients are still in their beds with the cot side still up.
Oh wow.
And this one Zimmer frame was just in the middle of the room. Yeah. That was a bit of a moment.
Yeah. Unnerving. Yeah.
Very much that night we were like, I ain't going in that room again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of times that happened in that ward.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a...
Yeah. It's really strange because I've had a lot of people say about hospitals and that, and obviously it's a places where people die.
Absolutely.
So it is full of energy,
Yeah.
if you like, of people that have passed.
Yeah,
on. So,
totally.
yeah.
Another one with, again, hospital.
Yeah.
I think it was that same... It was still in Worthing. I'm not sure if it was the same ward or not, but it's definitely in Worthing.
Yeah.
We had a very cantankerous woman, if I can say that. She was in for quite a while, and if you went in the room, you had to knock on the door in a certain way, or she wouldn't.
Oh, right.
She didn't like you going in.
Yeah.
And she'd want you to, if you went in without knocking on the door in a certain way, then you'd have to come back out again, shut the door, knock, and she'll go, come in, and then you're allowed to enter. Take reminder, it was a hospital, not a hotel, but anyway, she passed, and I went with a colleague to sort the room out, tidy the room up. Anyway, they'd taken her body away, went to clean the room for the next patient, and he went to go in before me, and he went, I can't open the door. And I said, what do you mean you can't open the door? He said, the door's stuck. The door is just like it's locked, it's jammed. And we couldn't get the door open. And I said, don't be serious. So I tried. No, it was like it had locked. Couldn't open it. So I went, hold on a minute. I said, humour me here. Knock on the door. And he went, what? I said, humour me. Knock on the door. And he did. He did the 3 knocks on the door, and the door just swung open.
No. That would do it. That would definitely.
And I was like, right, now open the window quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get her out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough to put you on the drink, I think.
Yeah.
Actually. I mean,
Yeah, that was another one.
you seem to be a magnet.
I know.
For,
I think I am. Think I am, definitely.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. They really are. And then a home life when William was little, because my dad died the day William was born.
Oh right, okay.
It was on the same day. And he is a mini, my dad, completely.
Right.
And when he was born, when he was tiny, there were times when I would put him in his cot or put him in a baby bouncer, and then I'd be in another room, he'd start crying. And I'd be like, William, it's okay, I'll be there in a minute, I'll come there in a minute. And then he'd stop crying. And I thought, he's suddenly stopped. And I'd go in the room, and the bouncer would be going by itself, be rocking. Or there'd be a toy that wasn't anywhere near him, sitting on his chest.
Yeah.
And it'd be like my dad's there, comforting him.
Yeah.
And things like that happened. Or it'd be laying in his cot, but the string of toys above him would be spinning by themselves.
Oh wow.
Things like that happened a lot when he was little.
Yeah.
Or he'd be over my shoulder playing peekaboo with nobody.
Yeah.
And then when he was old, I think he was about 4, he was in a bunk bed, he was in St James, he was in a bunk bed. And he called me one night, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, well, you alright? And he went, there was a man in my room. And I thought, straight away I smiled to myself, I thought, I know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
And he said, a man just came in my room. He said, but he came in, but he didn't open the door. And I could see him, but I didn't have the light on.
Mm-hmm.
And that really shocked him. And so, first of all, I said, are you sure he wasn't dreaming? And he said, no, I wasn't. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, I believe you. He said, and he did the oddest thing. I said, what did he do? And he went, he stroked my ear and then he tapped it. And straight away I thought, that's my dad. Because he used to rub it better before he smacked you.
Oh, right.
That was his
That's
little
a
thing.
Quirk. Yeah. Yeah.
He said, somebody just stroked my ear and then he tapped it. And I went, William, I said, I don't want to scare you, but I think that was your granddad.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, okay. And then the next day he was standing around my desk, William was, and then he was looking through some photos. And then he went, that's him. And then he picked up that picture that's on the wall over there.
Yeah.
He went, that was the man. I said, yeah, that's your granddad.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now he talks to him all the time.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, people say that they're afraid of ghosts and spirits and things like that, but they tend tend to put them both together,
Yeah.
and they're not the same.
No, they're not.
But it's when you've got a ghost or spirit in your house of a loved one that's passed on. That's a comforting thing.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
great
lovely.
thing to have.
Yeah,
It really is.
it is. Yeah, always
But
talking to them.
I think people are afraid that when they move into a house and there's a spirit in there, you know, they don't know who the spirit is
Yeah.
and all this, that and the other. But the thing is, I'm a great believer that the spirits follow you around. So if you move house, the spirit will move house with you because they're attached to you.
Yeah.
They're not attached to the building
No.
as such. So yeah,
No,
that's,
definitely not.
yeah, yeah.
No.
Do you find that when you go on holiday or you visit places and stuff like that, you can pick up on bits and pieces
Yes.
like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I go into somebody else's house, I think, I don't like this place.
Yeah.
I feel something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get a feeling of uncomfortableness, definitely. There's, where I work now,
Yeah.
there's, out the back, at the back of reception, there's an uneasy feeling there. Definitely. And at the back steps, definitely an uneasy feeling there. And I took, at one point, when I used to sit out the back and do some work, do some admin work, and there was a set of drawers, and every now and then, there's a set of 3 drawers, and every now and then the bottom drawer would just open by itself, and then we'd shut it. It could be within a couple of minutes, could be within an hour, it would suddenly start opening again. And a couple of my colleagues, we took the drawers out to make sure it wasn't faulty, make sure it wasn't tipping, to see what was in them. There was nothing. We even swapped the drawers round, we did loads to try and debunk it, put them all back again, and again it kept opening. In the end I took my EMF reader to work as well, and every now and then, just before it opened, the EMF reader would go mad and then the drawer would open.
It's like,
Yeah, and I thought, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I then started talking to whoever was there and just said, look, this isn't the place for you, you don't want to be here. Did a little return to sender blessing thing and just said, look, you need to move on, don't stay here. And it stopped. It hasn't done it since.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's another thing. When people have things happening in the house that they don't like, all they've got to do is ask for it to stop and it will stop.
It'll stop. Yeah, it hasn't done it since at all.
I meant to ask you, have you got are you strongly religious or
No, not at all.
You're not.
Not at all. No.
So you're not swayed in a certain direction
I believe in,
with religion.
I obviously believe in the spirit world. I believe there's something after life.
You've experienced
Yeah,
so
I
much.
can't not. I believe there's something else, but I don't believe in God. I don't believe in not religious in the slightest.
Yeah, you believe in people.
I believe there's something else, but I
Yeah.
don't believe that it's a almighty God or anything. No.
No, that's quite relevant actually, because there's a large number of people now that are not religious, but people who are religious will say that they're going pagan then, or they're doing this or doing that, but they're not. There's a lot of people want to believe in their own rules and their own theories on what goes on after death, and there's more and more of that going on now.
Yeah.
And to listening to your stories, I mean, people would think, oh, stuff's happening all the time, but it's separated, isn't it? By quite a different time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have had experience of spirits or ghosts that not related and were quite not malicious, but when I was younger, it was around puberty time, so that teenage years where you do get that evilness, I suppose. They're a bit more manic, aren't they, if the ghosts or spirits are around. They're attracted to the puberty side, aren't they? I was at home, there was me and my best mate at the time, was in my mum's house. My mum had popped next door for something, so I'll be back in a minute. So me and my friend said, right, while she's away, let's go and tidy my room up. Cheer her up, tidy my room up, make things nice and tidy. So I went upstairs, sorted my bedroom out. I had all teddies on my bed at the time as well, so we put them all in height order. Everything was all nice and neat upstairs. We just got downstairs again and my mum came in the door. So she said, I'm just popping upstairs for a wee. As she went upstairs, she went, Amy, will you go up here and tidy your room up? And we went, we just have. She went, it's a blooming pigsty up here. So we looked at each other, went upstairs, my room had been trashed.
Wow.
Absolutely trashed in about 2 seconds. And it was not only my room, but the teddies, everything were over the landing, my bed had been like pulled apart,
Yeah.
everything on my bookshelf had taken all over the floor. And we were in shock. We're like, we have just done this.
Yeah.
And the room has been trashed. And we didn't hear anything. It was like somebody just got in and burgled the place. It was like, thankfully my friend was there to defend me and go, we
Yeah.
have just done this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was like around the same sort of time where we'd have things moving about or things thrown. We'd
Yeah.
have like, my mum would see it as well, where we'd have like objects thrown, like, bouncing around the kitchen and things thrown about.
Yeah.
My granddad probably got the blame for most of it, but I don't think it was him.
Yeah, there's a lot of people say about this, as you're explaining, there's poltergeist. But I'm a great believer that when you mentioned puberty there's a lot of pent-up emotions in people at a certain age.
Yeah.
And they're fighting themselves, if you like, to try and get all these emotions, mixed up emotions within them. They're trying to sort them all out. And that can create a lot of energy within a building, and you know, things can happen. A lot of things can happen. I believe, you know, I don't know. Have you heard of the Enfield poltergeist?
Yes. Yeah.
There was a lot to do with that on
Yeah.
that case, but not everything is sort of clear
No.
cut. You
No.
have to look at it and analyse it, if you like.
Yeah.
And I
Definitely.
like the way you talk about it, because when you were talking earlier about the drawers and that, you tried to debunk
Yeah,
it.
totally.
Because you have to do that.
You have
don't
to.
Yeah, and I like that, because you're looking
Yeah.
at it through a logical
Yeah.
viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do in here, because sometimes like we'll hear a noise, because we think that there's the original owners of this house, an old guy and this old lady, are still here. And around about 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night, we hear banging about in the kitchen like pots and pans.
Yeah.
And it's always around the same similar time. And we've been out there and we've looked at the kitchen. We think, well, it's not the kettle, it's not the pipes. We're trying to work out what it is. What have we used today? Is it the tins cooling down? Is it this? Is it that? And we can't work out what it is. But it's around the same sort of time, between 7:30, 7. We hear pans tinkering. We say it's them making their dinner. It's them sorting their dinner out.
Yeah.
And we've said to them, you're welcome to stay, it's your house. Do what you need to do. Stay.
Yeah. We're
Happy to have you here if you're happy for us to stay as well.
Yeah.
And that's what we put it down to. But we've looked at everything to see what else it could be.
Yeah, you do, yes, you do. I mean, I lived in a terraced house for many years, over 20 years. And over that period of time, we noticed odd things happening.
Yeah.
Probably only about 6 or 7 over that period of time. But they were comforting things. And when we moved house, my youngest son's bedroom was taken up by a young child.
Yeah.
The new child then started seeing this woman. And she was distinctively dressed. And they got to the point where they actually had the house exorcised about 6 months after we moved out. And when they described the lady, she was the lady who lived next door, who'd passed on, who wore these distinctive clothes. And it was such a... I would have expected her to be in that house, but not the house that we were in. But she sort of crossed through. Yeah, it's very, very strange. But like you said, I mean, a lot of things happen in people's houses. And I find it extremely interesting how people react to things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, your reaction is intrigue.
Yeah.
And you want to find out what's going on, don't you?
I mean, anytime we leave the house, we always say, see you later, ghosties, look after the house.
Yeah.
And every time we come back, we always say hello to them. We
It's a
always
great
do.
attitude to have. Yeah.
We say, hi, we're back.
Yeah. With what you do, obviously you see all sorts of people and things. Is there a pattern, do you think, to some of the people you see? Is it more women than men who believe, do you think? In your opinion?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think men are more sceptic, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is more women, and I think... So I think if you're going out to look, you're not going to find it.
There's a lot of truth in
If
that
you just-
sentence.
if you're expecting something, if you're going on these ghost hunts that are purely commercial,
Yeah.
you're not going to. I mean, I've been on them as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to find anything. They're all set up. It's all
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all full of people
All they
screaming.
want
They're
is
just money.
that.
It's expensive. You're sitting in
Yeah.
the dark. People are
Yeah.
screaming. You're not going to find anything. You never
Yeah.
do on those nights.
There are one or two I've been watching recently, who tend to they've changed it a little bit, where they don't go into it with all the guns blazing and everything, but they do it in a quite natural way. I won't mention the programmes on here,
Yeah.
but there are one or two that go into Series 2, Series 3 and Series 4. And they're quite interesting because, like I say, they don't go into all that dramatisation of, this is special, this is... No, they just go into it normally,
Yeah.
which is how you should
Yeah.
approach it.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of the stuff on YouTube?
I do watch a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's your favourite film?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
That is. I watch a lot of horror films.
Yeah. What's your favourite horror film? What's your favourite horror film?
I like the Saw franchise because I like gore.
Yeah.
So I do watch a lot of Saw films, and any horror film really.
Yeah.
William's getting into them now as well. So yeah, we do like to sit and go through the horrors.
Yeah, yeah. I must admit, I'm a fan of some of the older, some of the black and white ones. When I was growing up, the Hammer House of Horror.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You didn't see a lot of gore
No.
or a lot of stuff happening, but it was the music that built up the tension.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love the old films because my mum and dad used to let me stay up and watch them. That's why I'm like I am. Slightly, yeah. So, yeah, with what you've seen and what you've experienced, are there other different bits and pieces that you've seen or experienced?
There's another one from my childhood actually.
Yeah.
When I was younger, there was I had a group of friends round, a group of girls. We must have been was at the secondary school, so it must have been probably about 13, 14. And we were playing a board game. And I remember one of the girls I wasn't that keen on at the time. And I remember going into the toilet. I laugh about it now. I remember going into the toilet and saying, "Grandad, if you're here, can you do something to get rid of this particular person? Because she's outstayed her welcome." And then I went back into my room again. Didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, there must have been about 5 or 6 of us sitting in a circle. All of a sudden, I noticed that everybody had stopped playing and was looking up at the ceiling and was screaming. And then when I looked up, I had a bookshelf on the wall, and obviously books on the bookshelf. And there was this big, thick, Famous Five, and a big, thick, Famous Five book. And it had come off the shelf, and it was just hovering in the air above this particular person's head.
Wow.
And then it just dropped and fell. And everybody just ran to the front door.
I can see that. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. It soon went round school that my house was haunted after
wow.
that. So I don't know if that was my granddad, whether that was anything else going on in the house, but
Well, you did ask.
I did ask for help.
Amy, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Anytime.
And I tell you what, if you've enjoyed those stories, and I certainly have, and it's one of those things where I like to bring people as many stories as I possibly can, and they were brilliant stories. If you like these shows, just subscribe. Just hit that button and subscribe. Next show, there's going to be some outtakes, or bloopers as we call them, so look out for that. That's coming on the following Monday, and Amy, thank you again.
No problem, thank you.
And we'll catch you again soon. Bye.